Hi Taurus, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am back to doing bi-weekly readings, so I hope that you enjoy your bi-weeklies. They will be in addition to your monthlies. We're looking at February 1st to February 14th for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising signs. So what does Taurus need to know for the first 2 weeks of February 2020? Messages for Taurus, February 1st, 14th. Wow, you have these gorgeous two aces jump out. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. So I am drawing cards from the deck for your monthlies and bi-weeklies. I do take jumper cards for the daily readings on my Instagram, however. And we'll see if these show up in your reading today as well. But two aces are a gorgeous omen, especially within the realm of a new idea or a thought, a pattern or belief system. And then the heart, there could be a spiritual awakening here as well. Very, very nice to see that. Let's keep shuffling and get your 6 cards out, Taurus. All right, folks, let's get out your cards. I will be taking the card at the bottom of the deck for general energy for the month for you as well. And then we'll get a medicine card for an oracle message following your reading. So right off the bat, we have some major arcana. Some very, I would say major arcanas in general are pretty strict. And there is our bottom of the deck card. We do have the 5 of Wands. So really interesting. So I'm going to finish up talking about the major arcana here, and then we'll look at the bottom of the deck and get going into each card and their meaning. So we do have the Hierophant, and then we have transformation here, which is death. So the Hierophant is actually ruled by you. This is your card, and this is about traditions, values, commitments, large scale, right? This isn't about just deciding on a New Year's resolutions. This is the institution of marriage, the institution of law, etc. So a very, very intense card. If it is religion, you could be walking away from that. You could have a transformative experience around, or a transformative experience could have led you to a new understanding of spiritual awareness, or a vow or contract within a relationship. And that could be a relationship with loans and finances, and it could be a relationship with another person. So depending on what it is that is in the forefront of your mind while you're watching this is what it's going to be in relation to. And then, like I said, we have the death card here. And the author called this card transformation, which is essentially what death is talking about. It is the final chapter. It is a complete end to what we knew or believed or understood, or even a partnership. So an end that will never return. Something has changed forever here. So those are the major arcana. We'll get into the other cards in a moment. Bottom of the deck energy, like I said, 5 of Wands here. A little bit of chaos and conflict, at least for the first 2 weeks here. I think everything is going to work out for you. We are finishing off with your advice card being the 6 of Pentacles, so nice give and take. But the 5 of Wands can look like a little bit of chaos, because even though, and this could be in the workplace or relationships, whatever it is that's going through your mind while you're watching this, or how you're applying it. But the 5 of Wands is really talking about, even if we're trying to reach the same objectives as another person or a group of people, we have different methodologies of doing that. And the methodology or the manifestation of the outcome is the conflict. It's not the outcome itself. So I think that there could be something that is uncomfortable, particularly for Taurus. I know Taurus is, a very loving and, generally speaking, very loving and peaceful sign. But with all Venusian influences, there could be some, even if it's unconscious, some, need or a habit around manipulation. And that could even simply be of yourself, okay? Manipulation of the situation, or a retelling of something that clashes with someone else's understanding of that. So, and we do have this really cold queen here, right under this really sweet message of love. So it could just be that there is a real clash of how you're about to achieve outcomes, not the outcome itself. So let's get into the first card here. We do have the Page of Cups, a really sweet energy here in your situation. This is a generous message of love, generally speaking. This is an offer of love. This is, I think it's peaceful. I think there's a peaceful, generous, sweet sort of offering, or a news of this type of message, or at least the intention is another way of reading the page, is that the intention is there. So that's what I mean here. If this is about a relationship or a vow or contract or a belief system or hierarchy of beliefs, even a hierarchy within a relationship, for example, I think you do have good intentions here, but like I said, there needs to be room for the way someone else is operating in a way. The Page of Cups sitting atop of the Queen of Swords here means that there could be some coldness, or like the intention itself, as I said at the very beginning, could either actually be or be perceived as manipulative. So just be aware of that here, especially with regard to what you want the outcome to be. Perhaps it's wise to, even if this is a conversation or sort of an understanding of a relationship of any sort, it could be wise to try to understand what the other person's intentions are, right? And that way it could help to quell some of the conflict behind the methodology, behind, achieving that outcome. Here is the reason. This is your card. This is you. It does represent Taurus. So, I do think that there's something really important here. There could even be, because this is second house, we are looking at value systems, what we value, what we collect, what we have, as opposed to what we don't have. As I said, it is sitting right atop the Eight of Cups. So there could even be a sense of having to emotionally walk away from something here, or not being emotionally satisfied with what is being done or said around a value system or a commitment. And it's a very, very strong character, right? So value system is really, really important. I think making room for the way that someone else works or operates, someone who, if this isn't you, someone that you're dealing with who has, say, forsaken or rejected these hierarchies or these institutions, right? So I really feel that, at least for the first 2 weeks of February, being on the same page is extremely important right now in helping to keep the peace. Here we have your past, as I mentioned briefly at the beginning, the transformation. So yeah, something will never be the same here. Something, I wouldn't even say it's broken or upsetting. We've gone way past the Tower here. We've gone way past the Hanged Man. We're not in suspension. We don't have to surrender to anything. This is just gone. Something's gone. Something will never be the same again, particularly around this message of love, achieving similar outcomes, different methodologies here. And like I said, I mean, we could read the Death card as though it preceded the Page of Cups, because it is the past. It preceded this. So I think there could even be an element of trying too hard here, trying too hard to maintain a value system, maintain an element of control, of hierarchy, as it were. And Taurus, this could be happening to you, right? Again, this is a general reading, so this is either you or happening to you. So, in all fairness, this could be something that you're up against, right? But certainly something will never be the same around, say, a loving relationship, a loving message. This could very well be a child as well, a child of yours or a child in general of a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Just throwing that out there. Here we have in our present, this is the Queen of Swords, as I mentioned earlier, and you can see this humongous owl on her shoulder. She's also known as the Queen of Divorce. She, and in terms of value systems and institutions, we could include law here. She is very much in control of her legal and logic and, balance systems. This is Libra ruled. Again, we are looking at more Venusian energy here, so I would really be careful about what is being said, what is being unsaid. There is a coldness to her. I mean, the cold, hard facts, right? The facts aren't warm and fuzzy. There may not be a nice way of saying what needs to be said. There may not be a nice way of facing reality here. But ultimately, we can rely on the Queen of Swords here to tell the truth. And she is backed by wisdom. She does have wisdom on her side here, so she cannot be discounted easily. Even if you feel like you're not getting what you need or want at this time, what she's saying or doing here, if this is a person, it could be an energy, but this person or energy is not misleading you. So I would take the facts and use them to your advantage here, because otherwise we would be living a bit of an illusion here, right? So here we have the future, and this is emotionally walking away from something, kind of acceptance. I think there's an acceptance here when we see the Eight of Cups. So accepting something emotionally that you put a little bit of time of effort into that you're not currently getting back. But by letting something go, you stand to gain. You stand to have the fair back and forth. There is a give and take here with your advice card. This is a very practical card. I think it is really, really important to be practical at this time. I would say living in your emotions or in the past or under strict, say, institutional or value or say status quo ideologies isn't going to be a helpful path, at least for the first 2 weeks of February for you, Taurus. So consider what this Queen of Swords has to say. She doesn't mean to be cold, but she does mean to tell the truth, and she's willing to cut ties, right? I mean, the Swords energy is all about cutting to the truth, telling the truth, like I said a moment ago, cold hard facts. So it's not like what she's doing or saying can be denied, yet the struggle exists, the struggle persists. So we have a couple, these turned up. I'm going to read them very briefly just because we're out of time here. The hummingbird jumped out. This is joy. It's my favorite card of the deck. Joy is really the essence of what is attainable here. I think maybe not getting exactly what you want and being open to a give and take here could be what's going to set you free. And then we have action, and then we have aggression. I would suggest here that action and aggression are actually going to work against you this month. And I would suggest looking at positive outcomes, right? We really want this joyous, positive outcome, the Six of Pentacles with our gorgeous hummingbird here. I would spend more time in the first 2 weeks if you're dealing with someone else, you're not getting what you need from, allowing them to be exactly themselves and loving them because of or even in spite of it. Okay, Taurus, so that is your reading. I look forward to seeing you for your second half of February reading as well as your February monthly reading. So until then, take excellent care. Bye for now.